checking out. We're gonna trim the brush today. Got my gloves, my scissors, and we're gonna take care of business. This area is fine. If you look over here, this is all wild, but it's not moving any further away from this spot. This is the spot for wild plants. There's Benny. Benny's curious. But this isn't a big problem. This is fine. It's not, it's meant to be wild. This is, look at that. These are all wild plants. Look how that's growing. It's never been that tall. It's always, this plant's always grown about here, but it's been raining so much this season now. Look how much it's grown up. It's pretty sure it's poison ivy. I like these bushes, they're my favorite. So let's go over here. I like having these flowers, and anytime I see them getting too dried, I'll move them into the shade. But here they have a nice combination of shade and sunlight, so it's like the perfect thing. Lettuce seems to be doing really fine. Yeah, there's Beanie. Hey, Beanie. But see how I have these little stone. I feel like underneath here there it is. Yeah, underneath here there's a rock, a stoneway. And so what I'm trying to do is, keep it all visible. Little maintenance gardening work. There we go. That was buried. It just gets buried over time. That's one little tile. That's another tile. It's a little walking tile. There should be another one somewhere over here. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. These brushes. This little brush is getting out of hand. Yeah, these are thick. I need a scissor for this. I might be able to get it. This is too close to the walking area, so we're gonna trim it down. There we go. So working on this pathway, should be able to walk clearly that way without any issues. I should have a better tool, it's just scissors, but this works just fine, honestly. I mean, obviously, everything would be quicker if I had maybe a weed whacker. I mean, you can see how I got the mower, it just came straight in. That helped a lot. So, but over there, there's too much going on over there to just push the mower that way. But I will take care of all this with the mower. And just kind of this brush. Yeah, I'm gonna have to invest in a better tool. I mean, this can get exhausting pretty quick. grass here. There we go, we got a stone. This we can use, ooh, look at all these bugs. This we can use to kind of lay here, cover up the grass. It'll kill it. We're just gonna use this, put it over here. I might get more cardboard, more something to cover this area, maybe a tarp. That way it'll just cover it up and I don't have to worry about it. That's my plan, is I'm gonna cover it up so the grass doesn't grow back. That's already looking better. There should be, let's see, there's a stone thing here. So there should be one about right there. Yeah, there it is. There we go. Let's clean it up a little bit with the scissors. See that? It's already looking better. Just gotta clear this and hopefully we'll be done here in about an hour. And we'll be able to walk through and have it all back together, all in order the way it's supposed to be. You know? Just work quick snips. I'd like to add some rocks. That'd be nice. That'll help the like around like a 2-inch wide, maybe 1 inch deep, 2 inch deep of just a layer of rocks around this. That way it'll help keep the grass from growing over it. I think that's gonna be good to do that. There we go. Much better. Ideally, I'm gonna have a pathway going down this way, but then I'm gonna build a pathway that goes around here, like this, and goes that way. And then this is fine the way it is. I'll just leave it like that. But then over here, I have another pathway happening. I'm gonna add some more of those tile bricks here. But see how this is kind of crazy, kind of added as I went. But essentially what happens is when this door comes down, it covers these line of the tiles, and I put these columns there to help keep the door up. And so I use this pathway to walk around it. So when that's down, you know, that's why there's extra weird tiles everywhere. But I mean, I can walk barefoot around here. I don't have to wear shoes. I guess that's the benefit of that. And here, as you can see, I've just makeshift added bricks and tiles on the floor as I went, one by one, until I increased the area a bit. I've added like these barbecue things and these plants, and it's kind of messy, but you know, the whole idea is to organize this place and turn it into a real awesome place where everywhere you walk, there's a path. Not just a path, but like a garden, some plants. That's the idea. That's what I'm working on. And what's cool, look at this. Check this out. This area specifically designed to play this old school game with these old, I'm not sure what you call this game, but pretty old school. A lot of old folks like to play it. My dad loves it. Let's get back to it. I just want to show how it's coming along. So I got to be careful with this stuff. Poison ivy. But ideally, what I want to do is this tunnel. So that eventually, what happens is it'll see how like that tall grass over there. Like I might put some of that over here behind the tunnel to cover the trailer. So I'd like the idea of covering the trailer with plants, but not like that. That's just too out of control. This is getting too crazy. But let me get back to it. Oh, I like these. These aren't poisonous. They're viney and they grow. I love these. Look how they grow. This is a part of the fence over there, but see, the plant took over. It's almost acting like a trunk for this plant to grow. Look how it grows. It's still look going up, and eventually it'll hit the leaves. And like if I don't cut it, it'll start tangling up with the leaves. It's kind of crazy. This looks highly poisonous. I have to be so careful with this stuff. You can tell on the leaves. The leaves look moist and like ready to infect somebody. Oh my goodness. I gotta be so careful with this stuff. I think it's poisonous. I don't know. It's not poison ivy, but it's got to be some poison oak or something along that line. So we're gonna trim it. It's already looking better. Man, strong plant. We can see, let's see how much better that looks. Oh yeah, it's already looking better. I don't want to cut this one because I like this one, but this one I'm not a fan of. We can go ahead and try to get to that. There we go. This one, what is this? That's not good. There we go. Obviously they're gonna grow back, but you know, trim it now, and then I'll look into getting stronger scissors and hitting down to the core of the plant, even at the root, if I can do it. Oh man, there we go. There we go. Look at this. This is like an oak tree, basically. So cut that. It's getting too big. Yeah, this is one of those viney plants. Let's see what's going on here. Oh wow, look how big this guy is. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna let it grow on this wire here. I think that'll be cool. Actually, I'm gonna thread it in and out. Let's see, be gentle with it. The leaves are gonna be a problem. Okay, so I'm just gonna thread this here. It's already grabbing onto that. I'm crazy. What's this? That's grass. Okay, there we go. So we got that. That's gonna be cool as that grows like that. That'll be pretty cool. Let's see where we at. I might have to cut. Obviously, this grass is getting too out of control. Getting way too. Wire makes it tough. I mean, it's just gonna grow back, so this is just temporary fix to make it look nice, at least for now. But this is what I'm truly worried about: is this plant being too obtrusive, walking through here. I mean, I should just get rid of it, honestly, if it's that poisonous. But like I said, I like all plants, you know. I'm not walking through here all the time, so it's okay. It's okay for this plant to exist here. I will allow it to exist. Plus, you know, it's a deterrent from people getting to my trailer. If it's covered in poison ivy, you think people are going to come mess with my trailer? I don't think so. So that's one way to look at it. Extra security. I could put a sign that says, danger, poison ivy all over the place. That's looking better. See? Starting to be able to fit through there. I'm still concerned about walking by and getting touched by this. This is vine. I like vines. We are friends of the vines. And the band. There's a band called The Vines. I like the band The Vines. They're pretty rock and roll. Yeah, it's better. I don't want this over my head though. It's kind of scary. What's this? Thick bastard. Cool. Starting to be able to get in deeper. Lots of little moths and bugs on this side. This side of the plant for sure. That's a vine. I like vines. Let me see. They can stay there, I guess. There we go. There we go. This plant's pretty viney too. I think it's also could be poisonous. See how I have a ladder? It's actually holding up a tree branch from leaning on my trailer because it actually was leaning on it. And see over there how it's kind of bent? Well, when it rains really heavily, water can condensate there and collect and actually go in my trailer. So I took care of it and put the pressure on, but I still have to raise it up higher. That's why I'm cutting the branches, these leaves, because I got to get to the ladder so I can raise it up a little bit. It's still kind of sitting on the roof of the trailer. It's causing that dent. Oh man, I really don't want to touch any of this. Okay, as long as that's in check, you can walk by here without any problems. I don't even understand this plant. It's so crazy. It's all wrapped around the ladder. it's hard to cut this one. There we go. That's where it is. Right there. That's a big one. There we go. Gotcha. Come on. Right there. Right there. There we go. How we looking? How we looking? Yeah, it's better. But it still needs work. I'm starting to sweat. Sweating's good. It's a workout. Gonna have to wash my hands for sure. Oh my God, look how much of this plant is on there. It's crazy. There's that viney plant. This one right here. I don't want to get rid of that one because I like that one. This one's viney, but it's also, I think, kind of poisonous. So much work. I might attack the other side. I'll probably start the other side. It's getting a little too hard to hit it from that side. So I'm going around. So this is the entryway from this side. And, so this is crazy. Man. What's crazy about this plant is that it's really, look how far it goes. All the way back there. Gonna have to move it or something because it's right on the pathway. These are wildflowers. It's completely taken over this side of the trailer. These aren't poisonous. They're actually beautiful when they're little tiny blue flowers like that, really tiny. Kind of weird spider stuff going on right there. What is that? Not sure what this bag is. Bags of leaves to help cover some of the grass there. It did its job. Nothing grew underneath there. I don't want to cut this. I gotta be careful not to cut that. But it's totally in the way. So I need to figure out what I can do with this. Maybe put it over here. There you go, plant. I mean, I'm thinking about cutting this leaf because it's just kind of in the way, but maybe not. I don't know. I'll let it be. Branch. Just stuff in there. Oh, is this viney? I think it is. I can't tell. Oh my goodness. There's so many flowers. This wildflower is out of control. Way out of control. Completely covered my path. I mean, it's gonna take forever to get through here. Oh man. Maybe just pull it. There we go. Start pulling chunks out. Look at that. This concrete block right there. Been hiding all this time. This is gonna look really beautiful once the path is opened up and I can get through here. It's gonna be really nice. That I can probably put on there and burn it. I'll take it back to another fire pit at the end of the property. Jeez, so much. Getting there. Slowly but surely. Okay. Yep, starting to clear up. It's exciting. Anything creepy underneath here? Oh man, there's something going on here. Whoa. It's covered in webs. Not sure what's going on there. Spider's nest. Oh man, nice. I guess I put these there a long time ago to help cover up the area so that grass wouldn't grow. Let me see. Let me use this. I don't want to touch any of that stuff. Looking good. Looking good. Getting there. Let's see, where are my scissors? Here they are. I think I'm going to cut these anyways. I don't know. They're kind of in the way, but it's okay. Let's get rid of these. Spider webs. There we go. Look at that pile. That was all just in there, blocking the way. We're almost there. I'm getting pretty excited actually because it's gonna make it easier to walk through. I can walk through here and water the plants from this side, you know, so I can, you know, get on the other side. I'm sweating. I'm sweating so much. Okay. I'm tired. The heat, luckily I'm in the shade, but the heat is pretty unbearable. There's a brick. I like these. I like this plant. I'm gonna try to keep that one intact. Here we go. We got to the plant. Man, this one's tough. It's a rough plant. Much better. Much better. That seems a lot more controlled. Maybe a little more. There we go. That's looking nice. Really nice. That is looking nice. I might reuse these platforms, to be honest. Well, that's the old siding from the house. We might put it back down just to help keep the grass from growing. Getting tangled up here. 1 second. Okay. Look at this. Much better. see, there's a path. What is that, a rock? There's a... This is all good compost too. If I add this to the compost, this will be really good for that. There we go. There you are. There you are. I feel like Indiana Jones. Found an old relic. No, it's just stone here. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting rocks. I'm gonna put some rocks in this area. That way it helps with the grass growing and all that. I'm so tired. Oh my goodness. Okay. How we doing? How we doing? Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. I gotta wash my hands for sure. Stuff's touching my skin. Okay. Pretty hot day. Yeah, much better, much better. Walk through here. This is rid of this stuff. Oh, there's a stone. There's a stone right here. Ooh, we got a vine. How divine. Put this one right here. How about that? I'll put this one right there. I'll put it right there. That'll look really cool. Okay. This area needs some serious work. I think I'm gonna go from the other side. Look how nice that's looking. Whenever I get a chance, I'm gonna maybe try to run the lawnmower through there and make a clear path. The job's not done. The whole point of this is to be able to get to the ladder. And I'm not quite done yet. And to be able to walk through. Okay. So, okay. I'm gonna move some of the bricks over because they're too much to the right. You see? Oh yeah. There we go. There you are. There should be. This other one too. Oh, too much to the right. To the right. There we go. There we go. That's better. Oh, let's hit the head with that. Okay. There we go. That's good. It's better. dry leaves. Okay, now we take this guy, move him over here. There we go. It's coming back to life. The pathway that I set about 3 years ago. Man. Watch out, damage those. That's crazy. What's this? There's just a fucking pot over here. What's this? What is this? Is there anything here? Lots of little bugs, but that's about it. That's good soil. We can use this to plant something. That's a good find. We're gonna put this somewhere out of the way for now. Let's just put it over here. This will be good. My plan is to create a pathway here that's surrounded by pots and plants. Same with here. See how it's starting? See, I got to trim here a bit, but see, this is a pathway. I want nothing but plant to plant all next to me when I walk down these paths. That's what I want. I want nothing but plant and veggies side by side as I walk. Maybe not here necessarily because this is nice open, but like there, for example, then back there, and then eventually what I could do is add another pathway here on the front and then add another bed to the side right here, another long bed, and I can walk around this. And so there'll be another pathway of bricks and another bed of plants, which will be a little tricky because these plants do well because they get a mixture of shade and sunlight, but out here in the open, completely nothing but sun. So I'm actually thinking about potentially adding another tree a little closer to there, but then by adding a tree, you get rid of all this space, right? You lose ample space. But another thing I could do is just keep growing vines upwards, and then those will provide the cover and shade. For example, like this plant right here, how it's growing up, I'll put a lot of these and kind of create these kind of tunnels or whatever, and that will help protect the plant from harsh sun, too harsh of a sun. But as you can see, this plant, a lot of plants do well just out in the sun. Obviously, this does great, no issues. It's really just finding the right combination of plants that work well together. See here, this is basil and tomatoes. Those are notorious companions. They go well together. Yeah, I gotta do a better job of getting this grass out of here. I'm getting there slowly but surely. And keep cutting around this plant, and we'll get there. We're so close. Let's see here. Okay, let's see where we at. This plant is the viney plant, and I actually like it, so I'm not trying to get rid of it. But why is it? What's going on with it? Oh, it goes all the way. I see. I don't mind this plant, this viney plant that grows wild here. I gotta maybe tie it around the ladder. It'll look pretty. It'll look pretty as it goes around the ladder. Let's see. Where is it? Right here. Yeah, it's gonna go like. Button. Yeah. How am I gonna do this? Okay, so it's kind of kill it. It's hard holding a phone and doing this at the same time. Let me tell you. That's a wasp. I just flew right by my head. All right, that's good enough. It'll figure it out. I'll just wrap it and it'll figure it out. Get there. There we go. I think it'll get a feel for the ladder and start growing up. That's gonna look cool. Kind of get out of the way there. Okay. Ooh, yeah. This plant I don't like. We're gonna get rid of this. It's just too in the way. This is too close. Oh, that's the viney one. We want that. Okay. Cool. We got to the ladder. That's another viney one. We got viney plants all over the place. Cool. That's gonna grow on the left side of the ladder. So I got a viney plant that's gonna grow here, and a viney plant's gonna grow there. That's gonna look really great. This I can get rid of. I don't care for. There we go. Nice. I'll get rid of this one. Obviously, these are gonna grow back, but for now, we'll just cut it at the base and do what we can later to get rid of it. I don't like it. It's really in there. There we go. There we go. Remove this a little bit. There we go. Now we're talking. Oop, I lost my sandal. All right, almost there. Look at that. Look at that. We're almost there, folks. Almost there. And this will be a nice little walkway. I'm going to probably work on it some more as the days progress. But that's pretty good. Just going to fix this little area here. Okay. Is there a brick here? I feel like there should be a brick somewhere around here. There it is. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, is that a worm? We got a delicious worm. I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to put it in the garden. You want worms in the garden. I say delicious because they're good for the garden. I don't mean like eat it. I just say it's good. It turns your soil into good stuff. That was a big worm too. That's a good sign. That's how you know you have really good soil. And those worms like to stay in shady, kind of wet areas, you know. So that back there obviously is a good spot. I'm actually planning on adding back here. Let me show you. So back here we have this games, whatever. But I'm thinking potentially of making this area an area for a worm farm, composting, things like that. It's coming together. It's in the works. Like it's all a mess, you know. You got a collection of leaves and sticks. Burn that, turn into ashes, you know. But put that stuff, spread it in the ground. What's crazy is we have so many trees that we get a lot of wood. So it's really easy for us all year long to set fires and make little fires out in the fire pit. Look how much we have already collected back there. It's too much. We got more piles of it. And then we have these big logs laying everywhere because we had a big branch fall. But yeah, this little sanctuary, if you will, is coming together really nice. It's my big lifelong project, if you will. You know, working on my little sanctuary of peace and enlightenment. It's a great place to relax when you're out here. I mean, hey, what's up, Logan? What up, man? I appreciate it. I've been working at it really hard for about 5 years. Now it's a little more than that. Probably pushing 7 or 6 years now. Oh, look at that. I found another tile. That's great. So, get rid of this grass. Yeah, I'm very fortunate. You know, my parents bought this house here a while ago, and so I've been able to stay here and work on myself and, you know, work on my career, saving up money. I paid off the trailer by living here. You know, I didn't have to pay. I never paid for an apartment, so all the money I would pay for an apartment paid for the camper, essentially. In about 5-6 years, yeah, 5 or 6 years, I got it paid off. So I don't have to pay rent for space, and I don't have to pay rent because I'm paying it off. It's already all paid for. So when I say sanctuary of peace, I mean it. I got no bills, you know, to worry about. Eventually thinking about collecting rainwater, you know. I saw this guy build a mini hydro plant in his yard. Kid you not. It was this like thing that was huge, and it cycled water, and it had a real generator, and he could power his whole house. I'm not sure where that was, but obviously cities are going to have problems with that. But I think he was out in the middle of nowhere, so he created his own power plant, essentially. And you can, you know, I've actually thought of ways to create my hydroelectricity plant by using the chimney. Let me tell you my crazy idea. My idea would be to run water in these tubes that go up to the chimney, and then the water gets pushed down, right? Obviously the trick is to pump the water up, but essentially once it's up there, obviously I could put water collection up there when it rains, and it would be just nothing but straight down water pouring down the chimney. But essentially I would have these little spinners down the chimney, and they would spin as the water goes down. And so I thought of that, a crazy idea to produce electricity throughout the whole house, the whole place. And yeah, I don't know, it's a crazy thought I had. I drew up the plans and everything, but I'm not like an engineer or anything. I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. So yes, here we go. Here's the pathway. Yeah, I may follow that idea eventually. Of course, city ordinance may have an issue with it, but you know, it is what it is. And the city actually, somebody was complaining about my trailer, actually, believe it or not. Somebody complained about my trailer in the neighborhood. I don't know who complained, but they said it was disturbing the atmosphere, if you will. That's a wasp. Shit. So, and I looked up the complaint, and it said it's because originally the trailer wasn't sitting on a platform. And so what I had to do was bucket by bucket, I'm gonna get through here real quick. So what I had to do to keep the trailer in place, I had a guy that I called up from Depot or something, and he brought a huge, we're talking like a pile as big as that, even bigger, of rocks. And the guy was kind of a coward because he wouldn't drive his truck up here. He said it was too steep. And so he poured all the rocks down there. He said he wouldn't drive the truck because he was afraid it would get stuck. And I was like, you're kidding me. And so he poured all the rocks down here in front of the house, a big pile. And I literally for days using a bucket would grab the rocks. It's an opening when the fences are gone, but if I were to take this fence down, I can easily move the trailer out that way too. If I really down the fence and put it back up. That's a lot of hard work. I've done it before, but like I said, it's not easy. Okay, so that was fun. That was fun. We got it done, and I can see all the way through now. You can actually walk all the way through, and it's just I'll keep working on it so it's better. It's kind of crazy right now, but you know. That's pretty much it, folks. That was the work for today. I'm pretty exhausted. I'm gonna get back to my schedule of putting out YouTube videos. Let me show you this though. Before I close up, let me show you this. This is my plan. See, this is my plan that I built. So here's the trailer, office, right, living quarters, main office, and then I got this main platform built. I've sort of worked, it just became its own. I worked on this area a little bit, but see, I had a plan to put a little pond and kind of have a stream of water going to all these places naturally too. It would be pumped, but it would be pumped up. I have this like tree houses, all my trees with rope bridges, and along the rope bridges I have little spots for lettuce to grow or plants. But essentially water would be pumped up here, then travel down, and then it would go all the way around the area. But that would take a lot of engineering. I mean, you have to like basically check the levels at every single point to make sure that the water is running the direction you want, and if not, you'll have to put a pump. But that kind of pump can be powered by solar panel, and when it's not, then don't worry about it. Just wait till there's sunlight again, and then it'll be bad. But or you could have a backup system for the pumper. You just plug it in somewhere or whatever. But yeah, it's a pretty ambitious plan. It's like a mini farm, but to the like most intense degree, because it has, like I said, it has three treehouse platforms with lights shining down on this area. It's to provide an extra light because it's so shady. So part of the treehouse is that it provides UV lighting that is completely covered by the leaves, and you can't get sunlight. So there's a bit of an unnatural lighting happening here, but it's kind of an experiment if I ever get to it, all kinds of plants. Eventually there would be no area left, except for the middle. There's a bit of area, but there's no area left unplanned, uncovered. I even have this little mobile solar panel device that's all sides have a panel of solar, even the top, and you can move it. It's on wheels, so you can move. If it's too shady an area, well, you just move it to a different spot, and it's got cables running to, a source where it like a battery source and whatnot. But anyways, this is a crazy idea. The fact that I'm able to do even just a little bit of it, to get it going. There's the fire pit, is fun. It's ambitious, and I don't have a lot of money, but if I were ever to come across a lot of money, let me tell you, I would set up this place so that I would invest in this place so they would continually grow food. And like lots of potatoes, lots of whatever, and eventually that itself could feed us year to year. But the problem is there's a pretty harsh winter here. That's the only problem, is there's a harsh winter and everything pretty much gets destroyed. All the plants die, everything. So it's like we have to start over every season. That's the only downfall. But we do have plants that come back every year naturally. The wild plants come back and whatnot. But a lot of these plants, you need to replant them, so it takes work. I'm thinking about getting a greenhouse, like a real glass one, eventually, where I can store the plants during the winter, and they're heated and they're nice and they can stay alive over the winter season. I can kind of replant them back in their spots. That would be ideal. That way I can, like, if like, and I tried doing that one year. I tried experimenting with tomato plants with this makeshift greenhouse that was made out of plastic and stuff. Plastic I bought from Amazon for like $100. It kind of worked, but the thing is with those, they're too airy. You can't seal the temperature. So I had about 5 tomato plants that were giving me lots of tomatoes over the summer, and I tried to save them because they were huge. My hope was that I could save them, replant them, and they would just grow even bigger, like enormous. But it didn't work out. The cold got to them. It's not getting enough of that summer sunlight that the plant needs, and so I didn't have enough UV powered lights to get it to stay alive essentially. Now, if I had them inside the house, it'd be a different story, like in my parents' house. But they didn't want plants in the house, so they probably would have survived, is my guess. But still, you're still dealing with an atmosphere that you need airflow, sunlight, water. It's just when it's out in the nature, it's easier to do. But when you're dealing with wintertime and you're having to do it all yourself, there's a lot to think about. There's bugs, indoor bugs that come about and start nesting on the plants. It gets all webby and gross. It's just too much to think about. I'm not in a position to be responsible for it yet, but eventually I will be. I will be able to have, like I said, my warm farm and the composting set up. That's not even set up yet, so I got to do those things first. And then eventually I want to start incorporating growing microgreens inside the house, and those little microgreens for nutrients and stuff. My dad will benefit from it. He's older and he's got a beginning level. I call it beginner's level Parkinson's because he's not quite there, but he has trouble moving. Sometimes he'll get stuck and he can't move. You literally have to like push him a little bit and he starts moving. But he's been on some medicines and stuff. He's been better. He's out exercising, gardening. The fact that I'm able to provide an area where he can keep maintaining the plants. I built the garden beds, all this stuff. He does the planting and stuff, and I maintaining essentially. I wish I had partners to see these ideas come to life. I really do. If you live close by in Tulsa, let me know. If you're in Tulsa, you're like what I'm doing, we can partner up. We can go to fresh markets, and bring our food out there and be a part of all that. My grandpa was a potato farmer. He actually was in Argentina. He was he doesn't come from a family farm. He himself he studied accounting by mail, believe it or not. He was in a small town, and by mail, because back then the internet didn't exist. So by mail, he studied accounting. He became an accountant, and he started a farm with his brothers, with 2 other brothers. And they did potatoes and wheat and cows and bulls and horses and eggs and all kinds of stuff. And as a little kid, like 5 years old, I got to experience the farm before it all went to shit. It went to shit because my grandpa passed away, and there wasn't enough people in the family who cared enough to keep it going, is what it was. My other uncle became an architect. He went to the major city in Buenos Aires, became an architect. My other uncle tried to deal with the farm, but he was, I don't know what, he had some gambling issues apparently, and he lost big portions of the farm to gambling issues. And sadly enough, I hate to say this because of my cousins, but he ended up killing himself. And by doing so, apparently, he was able to get insurance money for his family. We're talking like in the millions. So I don't know what happened. I don't know, by him killing himself, that money they were able to get, they paid off the gambling debt. But I never got answers. It was headline news in the newspapers in Argentina that it happened. It was crazy, dude. It was crazy. But like our family name in Argentina is very meaningful. Like people went like our last name, not my dad's, but my mom's side. When you say that name in that small town, they go, "Whoa, you're related to them. You're that family. Whoa," because they were that important. They helped this very small town called Loberia in Argentina. My grandpa helped formed and bring up by doing his farm, and so now it's sold off. Little pieces of it sold off to different farmers, and all that's left is like not that many acres. Not that many acres. All that's left is the main farmhouse. That's like old school Argentine architecture. It's nothing like the houses here. It's all white, stony, It's just, and it was a spectacular house because it was 3 stories. It was a house they built from the farm that they had. They were making so much money, and they were very generous. They helped open a museum. They did a lot of stuff in town, and to live up to that, how do you do that? How do you do that? I don't know. I could barely live up to my dad. My dad was a computer programmer who made tons of. He was well off, made a lot of money, being a computer programmer. My grandpa, he passed away when he was 80, about 25 years ago, and yeah, he was young when he started. He was young. Like I said, he started doing by mail school accounting, and then yeah, he was young. He was like in his 20s. I'm 38. I don't have much going on for me, but I do. I'm a happy person at the end of the day, and so that to me is winning. When you're authentically happy, when you're out of your misery and you're just happy and you're having fun, that's what life's about. You get the best out of life when you're out of your own misery. But I just want to say thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you. It helps the channel grow. Helps me grow as a person because you guys, in a lot of ways, keep me in check by YouTubing, by being live, by being present. I've done a lot of reflecting. I've been YouTubing since November when I was in a really bad place. I was a different person. I was an angrier person. The person you see right now in front, I'm the same person, but it's a different, like almost day and night personalities. But that's the thing about people. We all have different sides. We're not all on one side. We tend to put a mask up, but at the end of the day, it depends who we're talking to, what our relationship is, right? If I'm different, I'm not. To me, I try not to be different with people. Some people are because it's almost like a default to act one way with your parents, with your friends, with your business partners. But I've always had the philosophy, just be you. If they don't like you, well, then they'll discover it up front, and then you won't have problems. Guess what? They don't like you. You figure it out. Go somewhere else where they appreciate you and actually like you. That's one thing that I've learned is not everywhere you go are there people that really want to help you out and support you. It took me a year of like figuring out where I belong, where in the community, which communities, and where. And I spent a good year finding my communities, and and it's only because, not because of that, but it helps. It helps having a community that supports you in your endeavors. They're there for you. They if you're feeling down, they'll if you check in with them, they'll be there for you. And I didn't have that. I didn't have people that are actually there for me. I could call them up. Oh, I'm too busy, this or that. So, but the secret to that is when you're actually needed. So I'm going to communities that need the extra manpower, the help, my talents, right? If I go somewhere where it's convoluted with talents and people, you're not going to find success there. You're going to find success when you go somewhere where they need you, where they need hands, they need talent, right? So that's what I found by getting away from this one community that just, I spent years trying to impress them, trying to make things work, and it just wouldn't happen. It took nothing but mere minutes of me moving away to a different community, and it was a whole different ball game. The way you're treated, they treat you like a real human being, like just there's no egos, what I'm saying? It's all in the name of good spirit and helping each other out, which is, the key. That's the key thing. You find that you'll have the support to keep moving forward, And I have a podcast that I talk about these things. It's called Discuss It with Lasso. You can find it on my channel. But anyways, I'm going to tune out of the live. And again, I appreciate you all for being here. Logan. Yeah, I'm very lucky. No, don't get me wrong. I'm very lucky. I mean, I've had a rough life. I had 3 cancers in my early teenage, my 20s, and my early 30s. So I didn't have like a perfect life. But your problems, your hardships make you, especially if you come at these challenges head on and you don't shy away from them. See you, man. See you till next time. Yeah, have a nice day, you too. I'm really glad you came around. It just, I'm not gonna lie, it warms my heart when I got friends. It does on YouTube. Anyways, I'm babbling. I'm out of here. All right, guys, you take care. Until next time, we'll continue gardening and grow that garden. Peace out, people. Peace out.